IP means Internet Protocol. IP is a protocol that allows us to establish a communication between devices like computers, phones, tablets, etc. Also between networks and Internet. But what is IP address? An IP address is a numeric address that allows us to identify a device on a network. Every single device has to have an IP address to be able to communicate with other devices or get Internet connection.
Internet Protocol version 4, IPv4, defines an IP address as a 32-bit and is written as 4 numbers separated by periods. Each period is called octet. The number range in each octet is from 0 to 255. This address can produce over 4,294,967,295 possible unique addresses. Talking in computers language, this IP address 192.168.0.4 is meaningless, and that's because computers only understands in binary format. Binary format only uses zeros and ones. This is the traduction from decimal to binary what computers and network devices can read.
There are 3 types or IP address: private, public, dynamic, and static. Private IP address is only used by devices communicating to each other on the same network. Public IP address, or external, is assigned to your modem for your internet service provider. This public address allows devices to connect to the internet. No matter how many devices you have connected to your modem, all will use the same public IP address. A dynamic IP address is one that changes from time to time and isn't always the same. If you have a residential cable or DSL service, you most likely have a dynamic IP address. Internet service providers, ISPs, like Comcast, provide customers with a dynamic IP address. A static IP address is simply an address that doesn't change. Once your device is assigned a static IP address, that number typically stays the same until the device is decommissioned or your network architecture changes. Static IP addresses generally are used by servers or other important equipment. As the same way can be useful if you host a website from home, have a file server in your network, use network printers, forward ports to a specific device, run a print server, or use a remote access program.